Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for skillofattraction.com. And today's attraction tips video is called Masturbation Could Be Bad. So of course there's nothing wrong with masturbation per se. As men, we have a pretty constant drive for sexual relief. It's all that testosterone that's just pumping through our bodies gives us that intense sexual drive. And this is at least one thing that women just don't understand about men. They'll say things like, "Is sex all you think about?" And well, yeah, I mean, we can't help it. It's part of our biology. In fact, studies have shown that men think about sex at least 19 times a day, with the thought of food being a close second. So for the ladies watching, that alone should tell you how important it is to us. And I would venture to say that we probably think about sex more than just 19 times a day. I mean, the studies are based off of what men have admitted to, and those men most likely aren't considering every little thought of sex that they have throughout the day. Of course, I'm preaching to the choir here, so you guys know exactly what I'm saying. I believe the Rational Male author Rollo Tomassi, in one of his books, talked about a female bodybuilder who began to take testosterone to help build muscle mass. And she mentioned how incredibly horny she became, telling another guy that she doesn't know how us men deal with the constant horniness day in, day out. So when women say, "Is sex all that you can think about?" my response is, pretty much. Now bring that beautiful body over here. However, masturbation is a bit different than having sex. Yes, it feels good and you get similar relief. And of course, you don't have to put in the same kind of work in order to get off like you would to have sex with a woman. First, you have to talk to women and then get them out on a date. Then, of course, you have to have the balls to make a move and ultimately seduce her. And that's not even including all the self-work that you have to do to even get to a place where you could confidently talk to and seduce a woman, let alone have them having interest in you. So yeah, whipping it out and putting on some porn in order to get in a quickie is much easier and much more convenient. You can pretty much get laid whenever you want, but it's actually hurting you more than you realize. Now, I'm not saying that you should stay away from masturbation completely, but it shouldn't be your go-to for sexual relief. So in this attraction tips video, I'm going to be discussing why masturbation could be bad in terms of having a negative effect on your game with women and how it's actually preventing you from getting laid with actual women, which is what we all want anyway, right? And if you don't have much or any experience with women, I'm telling you right now, you want the real deal. It's much better. But if you guys need my personal help and you're interested in some private coaching, please head over to my website at skillofattraction.com. Click on the coaching tab, and there you'll see that I have several options for you to choose from. I offer standard email coaching as well as emergency email coaching, which includes a response from me on weekends and holidays. And I also offer both bi-weekly and monthly email coaching where I'll work with you throughout that time period. Additionally, I offer phone coaching for my North American clients. Now, if you live outside North America, I finally have something set up for you guys. It's Zoom coaching, and it works just like phone coaching, except you get to look at my beautiful face for an hour. My available times will probably not be ideal for many of you, depending on where you live, but obviously I can't be available 24 hours a day. Anyway, you'll find a link to the Zoom coaching on my phone coaching page. So it should be very clear to you. And I'll post the links to both my contact page and my coaching page in the description down below. Now, why is masturbation bad for you? Or I should say, how could it be bad for you? Masturbation by itself is not a bad thing, but I'm talking about the byproduct of excessive masturbation, where you're watching porn and doing it multiple times a day, or even once every day. The reason we have these desires and an intense drive to have sex is so we reproduce, obviously. Men have an instinctual drive to sleep with as many women as possible and fertilize as many eggs as possible as a way to leave a genetic legacy, children. Women are much more selective. They're much more selective than us, and the reason for that is because they only get one shot a month, basically. I mean, plus they also have to carry the child for 9 months, and then, of course, care for that child for the rest of her life. Men, I mean, we're pretty much in and out, no pun intended, and our job is done for the most part. Plus, we produce new sperm daily. The process is rather easy for us. So yeah, women are much more selective, but this isn't my point. My point is, excessive masturbation kills your drive to get out there and get the real thing so you can actually reproduce. Or even if you're not interested in having children, the act of making babies is pretty great. And it gets even better if you love the girl and she loves you back. Actually, casual sex doesn't even hold a candle to sex with a woman whom you love. And you're not going to find that if you're sitting in front of the computer every night with your pants around your ankles. You need that instinctual physical drive to get out there and meet and date new women. And just so you understand, women love sex too. It's just as much as we do. They just don't have that same drive that we do. A lot of men seem to believe that sex for women is just something that they tolerate as a way to keep us happy or as a reward for being good and pleasing women. But that couldn't be further from the truth. So don't think that your desire to sleep with women is something that's wrong or disrespectful to women or perverted or shameful or whatever. Women want it too, just as much as you do. It just has to be with the right guy. I mean, like I said before, they're much more selective than us. Another downside to excessive masturbation is that it temporarily depletes you of testosterone. Now, you may be thinking, so what's the big deal? We're without testosterone temporarily. Can't talk. But it can actually hurt your attempts at jumping into bed with a woman. A lot of men use the technique of rubbing one out before a date just in case they do get laid. This way they'll last a little longer because they're not as sensitive and not as horny. I mean, it does work, but like I said, you're actually lessening your chances of that actually happening because you're no longer just oozing with testosterone. Women are innately drawn to high testosterone men, especially if a woman is at peak fertility. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that women just love masculine men just as much as we love feminine women. Where does your masculinity come from? Your testosterone. And believe it or not, women can actually smell your testosterone. They don't realize that's what they're actually smelling, but it turns them on. And like I said, it's especially important during peak fertility, which I believe is just before ovulation. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So you men who know when your girl ovulates, keep your hands off yourself during that time, and it should make her feel more instinctively drawn to you, especially if you've just got done working out and you're just dripping with sweat. But for you men that aren't with any women, reduce your masturbation considerably, depending on how often you do it. And just start talking to women, and you'll feel driven to do so, so you just have to muster up the courage to do it. And when you get a date, don't rub one out for a couple of days leading up to your date and see what happens there. Yes, you may be more sensitive this way, but there are other things that you could do to prevent yourself from popping too early. Kegel exercises are really the best thing that you can do. So look up how to do Kegel exercises so you know how to do them and just get practicing. And of course, there are other things out there that you could do, but this is really the best way to have more control over all that. You're also going to be much hornier this way, but I mean, that's really the point. Your horniness will drive you to meet women, and it will drive you in other ways as well, but let's stick to the topic at hand here. Again, no pun intended. So overall, guys, just lay off that thing for a while. At least keep it to a minimum and use it for the real deal. You won't regret it. It may be hard at first, the task, not what's in your pants, although that'll be hard too. But just get out there and start talking to girls. And in between, focus on yourself, building yourself up, increasing your value, building your confidence, crushing your goals, and so on. And you'll begin to see how all this just kind of ties in together. And if you keep at it, you'll begin to notice the positive changes in your life. So sitting around playing video games with your buddies, smoking pot, and dropping your pants in front of the computer at the end of the day isn't going to get you anywhere. And I'm telling you right now, the older that you get, the quicker time flies by. You don't want to wake up one day to realize that your life went by in a flash and you still haven't accomplished anything. I mean, you may think that something like that would never happen to you, that you have plenty of time, but it happens to a lot of men or people in general. Personally, I threw away pretty much all of my 20s partying like a rock star. And, you know, it was a hell of a lot of fun. And I got to experience a lot of things that most people will never experience in their lifetime. But there's also a big part of me that wishes I could get those 10 years back and do things differently. But, you know, it is what it is. So, if you guys have found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and for you to share it with any of your friends and family. And I'd also really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell symbol next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, not only will I have a link to both my contact page and my coaching page, but I also have a link to PayPal or my Bitcoin wallet address if you deem this video worthy of a donation. And if you scroll all the way down in the description, I have posted a few links on how you can start earning money today with crypto and stocks. I've said it before, if you ever want to get ahead financially, you must invest your money and have it work for you. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.